everyone, and welcome back. So today is a very special day. It is the queen, the legend, the music industry's birthday, Taylor Swift. So what better way to celebrate than building a house for my favorite era? Let's jump in. So I've kind of talked about it in previous videos, sort of like my album ranking. Speak Now is in fact number one. Speak Now, the album, is genuinely one of my favorite things to ever happen in my life. I cannot talk about how much I love this album enough. I just like the way that it's like fully self-written, very angsty, but also very romantic. I feel like it is the true encapsulation of Taylor Swift. I genuinely cannot give this album enough praise. It has been my number one for a decade and a half at this point. Like, I genuinely mean it with my whole heart. Like, when she announced Speak Now, Taylor's version, I dropped to the floor. I was so excited. I cannot get enough of this album. And just, the songwriting in and of itself, and just like almost every song being over 5 minutes is absolutely insane work. She was, coming off of the high of Fearless and winning so many awards for that album. And people were just saying like, oh, like, it's fine. She'll just be like a one-hit wonder. So she was like, actually, I'm going to do you guys one better, and I'm going to write a full album by myself. And it is going to be a masterpiece. It's going to incorporate country, pop, rock. Like, it has so many elements that it just is, it's such a pure, to me, like, representation of who Taylor Swift is. I really, guys, this album changed my life, like, genuinely, from the bottom of my heart. Like, it has some of my absolute favorite Taylor Swift songs in it. The song I'm gonna be walking down the aisle to, like, it is truly, oh my god, like, it is so mind-blowing that she wrote this at, like, 19. Like, the girl was so young, but went through so much at this point that she's like, I'm going to share my story, and it is going to be batshit fucking insane. So yeah, you'll see here now, like, the house is sort of taking shape. I gave it sort of like a castle vibe. Obviously, like, songs like Castles Crumbling, but also I feel like the album as a whole feels like it was set in a castle. Like, she wrote this in a dungeon of a castle, like, fully just like pouring her heart and soul out. But it obviously has to be purple. Duh. Like, duh. The crazy part here is that I used Realm of Magic windows. I was fully not expecting to do that, but I loved the stained glass, and I thought that it really encapsulated the album very well. And I don't know. I really thought that it was, like, perfect for this, and I really love the way it turned out. This game is very hard when it comes to purple. There's not a lot of purple in it. It's truly... Building this was one of the hardest things I've done, simply because there's no purple objects. Like, guys, Sims team, babies, like, we need purple. What is going on here? The flooring, nothing. Wallpapers, there was a decent amount, but, like, no tile, no, like, brick. Like, come on. Like, I feel like there is such a missed opportunity there, because the purple girls are so insane and so insane about purple that if you gave them a bunch of purple swatches, it would be game over. Like, they would eat this up. So I think that we need to, like, ramp up the amount of purple objects that we're giving us, especially like a purple kitchen or a purple couch, purple rugs. Not many rugs that are, like, cute. Like, there's some, but they're not great. But you'll see here now that the downstairs is sort of taking shape. It's very funky. The house itself is very funky. I try to do something a bit different, obviously, by, like, making it like a castle shape. That really resonates in the floor plan here. The floor plan is so wacky and so insane looking. It took me a while to, like, really figure out what I wanted to do here. Now I'm placing down the living room furniture. I went with very, like, ornate, detailed furniture. Because, like I said, like, I wanted it to feel like a castle. I wanted it to feel like old money vibes. So that was what we went with there. And I also wanted a lot of books. That was a big thing. No purple bookshelves. None. Literally maybe 2 that are usable in a build like this. So I ended up just going with white. but you know, that works. We need an accent color. It can't be like full purple because then it'll just be ugly. And we don't like ugly here. Okay, we don't stand ugly. Now I'm placing down some items for the kitchen. So we have a giant round table and some bookshelves that I end up placing a shit ton of clutter in. I really cluttered this place up. It was insane the amount of clutter I did. I went through all of Debug, every single pack, all of their Debug. This build was like legit. It took me legitimately 5 hours. And I was like, the house isn't even that big. Why is it taking me 5 hours to do this? And I'm like, Robbie, it's because you're cluttering every square inch of this house. But I felt like that was very fitting. And, you know, she was in like such a tumultuous point of her life that it only felt right. So that's what I did. The downstairs is like fully has taken shape at this point. I wanted to use that archway from Growing Together because it had the stained glass in that as well. I loved the stained glass in this build. I felt like it felt very fitting. I don't know. I felt like it was like a mosaic, and this album feels very like a mosaic of like her and who she is and just like the inner thoughts of her brain. So that was very fun to do. And I added a shit ton of like cat items. There's scratching posts. There's 2 cat trees. Like I said, this girl loves her cats, obviously, as do I. I love cats. So every single build is going to have a million cat items. It's only right. And it's only what she would want. So yeah, now the upstairs is kind of taking shape. The upstairs layout is kind of not my favorite thing I've done. I definitely, if I could redo it, I would. But, you know, we take it for what it is. It's never going to be perfect. But I'm working on my perfectionism. And I'm proud of that. I'm proud to admit that I am a recovering perfectionist. That's kind of what we're working on here. Now I am placing in the doors from high school years because they had like purple items on the doors. So obviously I had to. And over here is the bathroom. And there's this like 2-story sort of like castle turret that I put up top. And that is going to be her bedroom. So a 2-story bedroom, only right for the queen, obviously, and living in her best album. So duh, that's where we're at. But now I kind of want to talk a little bit about the album itself. Because I'm very specific about this album. I have very specific thoughts. I truly believe from track 1 to track 22 of Taylor's version is skipless. I will say though, in fact, the vault tracks, specifically, oh my god, I'm gonna get ripped to shreds. Specifically Foolish One and Timeless. Like, not my faves, but they're still good. I think for Foolish One, it's the melody that doesn't really, you know, pull me in. I love the lyrical content, but for me, if I don't love the melody of a song, I'm not really gonna love it. It's just not going to be one of my favorites. With that being said, we get into When Emma Falls in Love, and that melody is quite literally my favorite thing to ever grace my ears. I cannot stop listening to When Emma Falls in Love. It's so beautiful. Oh my god, she did the damn thing on that song. I swear to god, I'm so mad that she actually kept it for that long, because I should have been listening to that from the beginning. But I get it, because there's genuinely not a single song on the original that I would remove. Nothing. It is a perfect album from start to finish. But with that being said, I do have a top 5. Funny story, actually, before we jump into that. So one time, me and my friends, we were playing, you know, not even playing. We were just discussing. We were having a discussion of if there was one song off of Speak Now that we could save, what would it be? My initial gut reaction was so jarring that they literally burst out into laughter and said that I actually had to be joking. And part of me, like, genuinely was not joking. And then I kind of thought about it for a second, and I was like, wait, actually, no, I do change my answer. But for this song to be my gut reaction was quite literally the funniest thing ever. So, we're talking about it. We're like, what song would we save? My friend says Dear John. My other friend says Last Kiss. I say Superman. I was so dead serious too. Like, I wasn't even fucking around. That was like genuinely at the top of my head, like Superman. I don't know what it is about this. I think I just love fun, and I love the fun energy of it. Obviously, it's not her best song. We know this. I'm not saying that at all. But I think people also hate fun. They bullied her into not performing Me on the Eras Tour, which was one of the biggest losses of my life, because I love Me. I love that song. And I know it would have been like a shake it off moment on tour where everyone is just happy and dancing and having a good time. But they bullied her into making her think that we all hate this song, which couldn't be further from the truth, because I think Me, for what it is a decent song. It's obviously not her best, but I love it. And I think it's so fun and camp. So, moving on from that story, because Superman is like my favorite thing ever. My top 5 from this album is easily, and this is not in a particular order, so don't read me, but going from like top to bottom, right? All right. So in my top 5 is Back to December, obviously, Sparks Fly, Enchanted, Better Than Revenge, and Last Kiss. So that is my top 5. Superman to me is like its own entity, because it was a deluxe track, but I like can't even rank that song. Like, I genuinely love it with my every being. So like, I'm going to a Taylor night tonight, which is incredible because it's her birthday. But every time that song comes on at a Taylor night, I like genuinely lose my fucking mind.
I loved you from the very first day I watched Superman fly away. You got a busy day today. Save the world, I'll be around.
It's like a running joke in my friend group now where they were like, Superman's on. If I'm not at a Taylor night, they FaceTime me during that song, because they just know that this song means the absolute world to me. I don't know why. And I lose my fucking shit. I am jumping up and down, screaming the words at the top of my lungs. It is such a fun song to dance to. And just like, I love the idea of it being so lovey. And I love love, right? I think it's so fun. And it's just like an innocent look at love. And I think that is so beautiful. With that being said, with my top 5, like my top 5 does change a lot. That is like my current top 5. Like Haunted is a lot of the times in there. Superman, depends on the day. The Story of Us, like genuinely, I can't say it enough, like how perfect this album is. I don't know if she'll ever top it for me. Like, I genuinely mean it. Speak Now holds such a special place in my heart that like it's going to be so hard for her to top that. And I thought she did with 1989. But like, I love 1989 for a different reason. Speak Now, it's just like, oh my God, it's so beyond incredible. I can't get enough of it. And I'm sorry, one of my least favorite takes in, the Swifties is that Superman is always in the bottom of everyone's rankings of songs. It does not deserve to be that low. I'm sorry. With songs like Superstar, bottom of the barrel. And even then, like, it's still good, because there's no bad Taylor Swift song. Let's be honest. You just have to be in a specific mood for them. Whereas like Speak Now, I feel like I'm always in the mood for. Like, I don't have to be in a specific mood to put this album on. It just like comes naturally. Like, I'm just constantly listening to it. Oh God, I love it so much. Which then brings up the bigger point here. Why did it only get one song on the Eras Tour? And then she did like a brief stint with Long Live after Taylor's version came out for the rest of the US leg, but then it went away again. I'm sorry, Long Live easily should have been a staple on that set list from the beginning, from the jump, because it is literally about the fans. Like, it's a song for the fans, about the fans, her love for the fans. Why was that not on this set list? If you're doing this Eras Tour, I have to digress because I will get upset. But like, there's so many amazing songs on Speak Now that deserved like a full production, and it will upset me until the rest of time. Like, listen, don't get me wrong, I love Enchanted. Enchanted is literally going to be my aisle song. Like, the song I walk down the aisle to is going to be a violin version or an orchestra version of Enchanted. But why was that the only song selected? You had Mine, you had Haunted. Haunted with a full production set would have actually changed everyone's life. And I get it. Like, she was like, I'm only going to do the big songs. I'm only going to do the songs that, like, everyone will know, obviously, because it's, you know, essentially it was like a greatest hits tour, but it deserved more. Like, Speak Now deserved more. It got more dresses than anything. Like, why was there like 10 dresses for one song? I just don't think I'll ever get the logic there with like only choosing one song for Speak Now. It leads me to believe that she doesn't love this album as much as, you know, maybe the fans do, or she loves her other albums. But like, she should, because Speak Now is her best. No one can fight me on this because I believe that. I believe Speak Now is her best album. And I will stand on that hill until the day I die. Because it just, like, the songwriting is so flawless. The production is incredible. And, like, everyone wants, like, Rock Taylor, but you couldn't even handle her at her Haunted or her Story of Us. Where were you? Why were you not there for that? Because I think we definitely would have gotten it then. But I digress. I'm not trying to be upset about it, but I have a lot of feelings for this album. Which then, like, leads me to discuss, like, okay, she only chose one song. But, you know, we look at, like, the Reputation Stadium tour, right? Long Live was on the set list. I feel like in a future tour, like, she'll bring back, like, a deeper cut, because I think she probably saw us all talking about it. We know she's online. We know she sees our shit. I think she's going to see us talking about our feelings about only getting one Speak Now song. And, like, in a future tour, whenever she decides to tour again, I think she's going to add, like, a random Speak Now deep cut permanently on the set list, which, like, love Enchanted, but not that one. Please. I would love anything else, like A Last Kiss, or... which she probably would never do that, which is, like, really annoying. But even Mine, I would take. Or Mean. Mean is a great song. I think Mean gets hated on for no reason, because it's genuinely a really good song. And I love just, like, the banjo, and I love the country vibes. She was in her Yeehaw still, you know. We were kind of growing out of the Yeehaw a little bit with this album, but, like, it was still there. Anyway, I love this album down. I don't think I can love an album more. I genuinely think it's my favorite album of all time. Well, yeah. That and maybe, like, something else. But Speak Now is, like, one of my favorite albums of all time. And I can't listen to it enough. So let's get back to the build a little bit. Why we're here. So as of right now, I'm just cluttering up everything. We're adding in a shit ton of clutter everywhere. And I use these, like, Love Struck wall lights that look like the sparkles, because in the Taylor's version, like, on Apple Music, there's, like, the animated album cover and it has the sparkles, like, going around her. I was like, that looks just like that. That's so perfect. I was so excited to do that because I love when I can bring, like, a real life thing into the game. My favorite thing ever. Basically, like, all the major furniture is in at this point, and we're just going in. This was when I started going through every single PAX debug. I was like, I'm putting my all into this build because this is my favorite album. This album deserves nothing but the best at this point, because that's what it should get. Okay, it deserves its flowers, it deserves its moment, and I'm so glad Speak Now Taylor's version debuted with, like, the numbers that it did, because I think it showed her how much we truly love this album. I don't think she truly got it. I don't think she knew. And, you know, I'm really glad that we got the I Can See You video, but I kind of wish she did, like, the Red Taylor's version treatment with Speak Now, where we got another music video for another song on the album. Like, imagine an Enchanted music video. People are, like, still, like, if you're, like, a casual Taylor fan, they're, like, shocked she doesn't have an Enchanted music video. They're like, no, she definitely does. No, bitch. She's just that good at songwriting. Also, the Speak Now debacle. There's like a whole Mandela effect with the Speak Now music video that people are like wholeheartedly believe that there was a Speak Now music video. There was not. It was simply from the visuals of the album booklet that everyone was like, oh, like, yes. And everyone like thinks that they remember this music video, but the song is just so visual, plus the visuals from the album booklet, that it was like, no, like there was a music video, but there wasn't, and there should have been. Honestly, visual album. Speak Now should have been a visual album. It should have gone through the trials and tribulations of a relationship, getting left at the altar, like the whole works. I would have loved like a mini movie with this album, Lemonade style, because it is so incredibly detailed that like you could genuinely do that and it would work. We're still cluttering. There is quite a bit of clutter. Basically, tonight, I don't know if anyone watching this has ever been to like a Taylor night, but they're so fun. It's like basically like a club night where you go and all they do is play Taylor Swift. So me and my friend that I met like last year, we went to one together, and that was like our first time like hanging out. We both are Swifties. And now at this point, there's like a group of like 8 of us. And we have this group chat called All My Homies Hate Joe Alwyn. And I just like, I've created this like little bubble in my life that is like all Swifties, like my sister, my best friend, her sister, and my Taylor Swift group chat. And I just like, I live in this bubble of Taylor Swift fans. It's incredible. A lot of my friends I've turned into Taylor Swift fans. Like, and me and my best friend, we turned our other best friend into a Swiftie, and our other best friend in the group chat's also a Swiftie. And then I have another group chat where 3 of us are Swifties, and we're trying to convince, you know, our other friend and my stepsister, but we're working on it. We're getting there. She likes some of the songs. She's not like a total Taylor Swift hater, but in my lifetime, I'm making sure everyone in my life loves Taylor Swift. It's just like something that, it's like a mission that I've put myself on, and it just happened naturally. I don't know why or how. I'm just like, I'm a disciple of, is that what they're called? I don't know. I'm like not really religious, so I don't know if that's the correct word, or the followers, like the 12 followers, whatever it is. I don't know. I'm one of Taylor Swift's 13 followers. Right here in the one castle turret, I put a mattress. So we got like the mattress item in the basement kit. And that was just my nod to the original Better Than Revenge lyric. She will be forever missed. And like, I get why she changed the lyric, but also like I don't, because it's really upsetting. I really wish she didn't do that. The lyric was fine. Okay. It was okay. We should have kept it. So I had to make a nod to that because it was one of the most iconic lyrics ever written. Okay. And we stand on that. We stand on that business. So, yeah, now we're just, you know, doing the extra clutter and making sure that there's a bunch of items in the house, and we're just making sure that there's a bunch of activities in the house to do. A lot of things that I feel like fit Taylor Swift's vibe and, you know, things that she would find interest in. But now we are doing this little outdoor gazebo thing. I don't know. I had this vision, and I wanted to have a big grand piano, a bunch of lanterns around it, and the pictures strung up with lights, kind of like the Mine music video when she's walking through the trees and there's all the hanging pictures. I'm just like imagining her actually doing a performance like that, where it's just like her at the piano and a bunch of candles. Ugh. I think I would pass away. I think I would literally die. It would be so gorgeous, and just like all the lanterns everywhere, and just like a piano stripped down set. It would be stunning. It's just like a vision I had one day, and I was like, you know what? This is perfect for this album. This album gives that energy. So that's what we did. And now for the final touch of the house, I am adding in a wedding arch and a little wedding ceremony section. You know, in Speak Now, obviously, she is speaking up at a wedding because she doesn't believe that they should be together, and it should be her. And I agree. So here I decided, let's put a little wedding arch. It fits the energy of the album, and it's all purple, obviously. And I ended up adding in the new bushes that we got in the Cozy Celebrations rewards event. They have the lights built into it, and this album feels very twinkly light, very, fairy light aesthetic. So I added that in. But now I'm going to give you guys a tour of the build. So you'll see here, it is in line with the debut house and the Fearless house. And it looks kind of crazy with this big ass debug castle thing from Discover University, but I wanted to add it. I don't care. I love it. So this is what the house looks like when you first come up, and it is very castle vibes, very purple. This is perfect for the purple girls. So when you first come up, there's like a little seating area to the one side and then some fake planters on the other. And this is what it looks like when you first come in. This is our living room. I put the star speckle lights from Love Struck in here. Love. But we have a little art studio. And then back here is just like a wall of books with like a vintage radio. This album gives very vintage love vibes to me. So that's kind of what we went with. So over here we have the little friendship bracelet making item from Growing Together, and a little love painting. And then this is the kitchen. I kind of love that wallpaper. I know it's kind of funky in here, but the purple flowers were really eating. So in here we have just a bunch of random love sort of decor in the kitchen. I really wanted to go hard and add as many things as I possibly could. Like this little tree thing. It reminds me of Back to December. So here is that. And then we have our kitchen table. I had the time of my life fighting dragons with you. That obviously had to make a little appearance. And then here's just a little seating area. And then this is the finished kitchen. Love her. This is the doors to Outback. So on this little patio, there is just a table and a grill. And then the gazebo sort of thing that just has a piano with all of the pictures strung up, the Mine music video, and a bunch of lanterns and stuff. I just felt it felt super majestic. And I took this item from Debug, but I forget what pack it was. It low-key might be Horse Ranch, but also could be Love Struck. I really don't remember, but I loved it because of the butterflies. And then back here is a little wedding section. In case you want to have your Sims get married. Look at that view. That's stunning. I mean, the red house is going to be in the way in a little bit, but that's okay. We'll get to that bridge when we get there. But I just loved the idea of having the speak now or forever hold your peace moment of the house. So that is the full downstairs. So then this is the second floor. We have the desk area over here. We have the cat bed, and then a little games table. Another moment where there's castles involved, castles crumbling. This album is very enchanted, very, what's the word I'm looking for? Very cutesy and fairy tale-esque. So I wanted to just really emulate that in the build. And then over here we have another TV. So just another seating area upstairs, a cat tree. Here we have the first guest bedroom. So this bedroom is just very purple, and it has the pictures of all their lovers on the wall. And then in here, I decided, let's do a little recording studio. So there's a piano over here, a little writing desk with her writing her songs because this album was fully self-written. Let us not forget. A dragon sort of artwork, butterflies, another area where your sim can be writing songs. So I put a guitar with a little journal over here, and then the music production item from Get Famous, all of their awards, more guitars, a violin, obviously the violin from Haunted, and then down here is just a bunch of random trinkets, but I had to put this little guy because of Superman, and Superman is obviously my favorite song. You guys know this at this point. But look at him. He's purple. It was perfect. And then I put the little dragon item as well. So yeah, there are some toys, but that's okay. And then over here is the bathroom. So, you know, pretty standard bathroom. I loved adding this like purple dress pregnant woman. I don't know why. Don't ask. And then we have like a full walk-in shower right here. And then you come upstairs and you are entering into the fashion room. So here is just like 2 wall closets. I felt like it was perfect because of like the boots and stuff. Oh, the jumping on this game. I need to do that thing. There was a thing on TikTok I saw where it was like you can like actually edit it so it doesn't do that anymore. I need that. But then there's like the cowgirl boots here and stuff. And then on this mannequin right here, my goal is when a sim moves it in, I'm going to put like a giant gown on the mannequin to represent the 18,000 gowns that this woman wore for the Speak Now era at the Eras Tour and only gave us 1 song. There were more dresses than there were minutes of her performance. So that's crazy. But yeah, and then just like a little like get ready with me chair with a giant mirror. And then you come upstairs, again, 4 floors. I know, it's kind of crazy. And then this is where our little Taylor sleeps. And it's very majestic, very castle-like. You know, she's kind of living in like the tower of the castle. And yeah, so that is the entire Speak Now house. I hope that you guys liked this video. And if you did, make sure that you hit that like and subscribe button down below. And yeah, so now it's time to go celebrate Taylor's birthday at a cute little Taylor night. And I'm very excited. I better hear Superman at least 6 times or I will be upset, okay? Like, it's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. But yeah, so once the full Eras Tour neighborhood is built, I will be adding it to the gallery as a full residential rental. So thank you all for watching, and I will see you all next time.